Pride jerseys. When MLB rolled out Pride uniforms, they expected celebration, not chaos. Stadiums filled with rainbow decorations, massive flags, and themed giveaways. But once players were required to wear Pride logo patches and rainbow-accented jerseys, the backlash began instantly. Some players refused for personal or religious reasons, peeling off decals or declining to suit up in themed gear. That defiance turned national, sparking heated debates about expression, responsibility, and whether players should be forced to participate in social movements. Fans clashed online, teams tiptoed around statements, and MLB scrambled to avoid an even bigger divide. The moment everything boiled over came during the Dodgers Pride Night, when protest groups clashed outside the stadium in a citywide uproar. Rumors swirled that MLB feared future riots, and not long after, Pride uniforms quietly vanished from official rotation. And what happened next pushed the league into another controversy, this time over something that didn't involve a full uniform at all, but started at a player's feet: Polycarbonate Mask. When hitters first saw the clear polycarbonate face mask, they thought it would change everything. Players recovering from broken jaws, orbital fractures, or close calls finally had a way to step back into the box without fear. But the moment images leaked of prototypes being tested during batting practice, MLB slammed the brakes. League officials argued it created glare under stadium lights and could distract pitchers, even though no pitcher complained publicly. Others whispered that MLB simply didn't want hitters wearing something futuristic on national broadcasts. The real drama came from players who felt robbed of an accessory that could literally protect their faces. They said the league prioritized aesthetics over safety, and rumors spread that several stars pushed privately for a rule change. But MLB refused, claiming the mask wasn't uniformly approved, which is code for "we don't like how it looks." And what happened next made the league look even more inconsistent, because the very next banned item came from one of the wildest controversies in baseball history: pine tar bat. Nobody expected a simple coating of pine tar to cause one of the angriest meltdowns baseball has ever seen. George Brett walked to the plate, crushed a go-ahead homer, and circled the bases like the moment belonged to him. But seconds later, Yankees coaches challenged the bat, insisting Brett's pine tar stretched too far up the barrel. The umpire measured, ruled the homer invalid, and Brett exploded out of the dugout like he'd been set on fire. Fans still debate whether the rule even made sense. Pine tar gives grip, not power, and hitters hated how MLB pretended the coating created some unfair super bat. Even crazier, the league later overturned the decision, proving the rule was stricter than necessary. But it was too late. Brett's eruption became iconic, and pine tar instantly became one of the most famous banned accessories ever documented. And it gets worse, because the next banned item wasn't a tool for hitting at all, but something far more personal to a player's identity. Ice cream glove. Jazz Chisholm has always played like he's starring in his own highlight reel, and his ice cream themed glove became the perfect symbol of that energy. The design looked exactly like a waffle cone dipped in sprinkles, and fans loved it instantly. Kids begged manufacturers to recreate it, video games added digital versions, and Jazz doubled down with even more flavors. But when he debuted the cookies and cream version, everything changed. MLB officials claimed the white tip blended too easily with the baseball, saying umpires might struggle to track catches. Fans rolled their eyes, pointing out that umpires already missed calls without any help. Jazz reportedly laughed it off, but the ban stuck, and the glove became untouchable during real games. The moment showed how MLB still struggles between promoting creativity and hiding it behind rulebook language. But you won't believe what happens later in the video, because the next banned item triggered outrage far beyond baseball's usual boundaries. Black cleats. Ben Zobrist didn't think all black cleats would turn into a league-wide debate. They weren't political, flashy, or distracting. They were literally just black. But because they weren't at least 51% team colors, MLB flagged them instantly. Zobrist shared the warning publicly, calling the rule outdated, and fans rallied behind him. Players quietly admitted they hated the footwear restrictions, arguing that cleat designs had become part of modern baseball culture. The league claimed the policy preserved team identity, but critics argued it preserved nothing except unnecessary restrictions. The controversy gained so much attention that MLB eventually reconsidered parts of its footwear guidelines. Zobrist unintentionally became the face of the movement, proving even simple accessories can spark reform. But that's not all, because the next banned item wasn't about fashion or rules. It was tied to a moment of national emotion that MLB tried hard to control: 9/11 caps. On the anniversary of the attacks, Mets and Yankees players tried honoring firefighters and police officers by wearing FDNY and NYPD caps during games. Fans loved it, players felt proud, and the hats visually symbolized unity. But MLB management shut it down instantly, demanding teams remove the hats because uniform consistency mattered more than tribute gear. Players were furious, insisting they didn't care about fines. Some even argued the caps meant more than the game itself. Rumors spread that MLB feared setting a precedent allowing themed accessories on other emotional dates. Whether true or not, the league refused to budge. The controversy sparked a media firestorm and made fans question MLB's priorities. And yet the league soon walked into an even stranger dispute because the next accessory wasn't symbolic or patriotic, it was tied to a player whose chains became a personality all their own. Chains. Alex Verdugo didn't just wear chains, he stacked them like trophies, sometimes layering 5 or 6 at once until his entire chest shimmered under stadium lights. Fans loved it because it matched his energy, but when he arrived in New York, everything changed. The Yankees' strict appearance rules treated personal style like a threat to team order. Beards, gone, long hair, cut, jewelry, limited to 1 chain per game. Verdugo's collection instantly got sidelined, and players joked he went from dripped out to dried out overnight. The rule wasn't technically an MLB ban, but team policy hit harder than league punishment because he had no way around it. And because the Yankees are the most watched franchise in baseball, the restriction became national news. But first, only cool people are subscribed to this channel, so hit that subscribe button before we go any further. Samurai Headband. Johnny Cueto didn't just pitch with flair, he pitched with personality, and that's exactly why his samurai headband became a target. The moment he stepped on the mound wearing that bright bandana, fans loved the swagger, but MLB officials immediately saw a uniform violation. They claimed it drew too much attention, even though nothing about it helped him throw harder or move the ball. The league has always been strict about headgear, but this one felt personal because Cueto's headband became a trademark look, and once something becomes iconic, baseball seems determined to control it. Players quietly joked that the headband added more entertainment than half the league's promotional nights. Cueto pushed back by wearing safer versions, yet the original style still got banned, proving MLB cares as much about appearances as performance. But that's not all, because the next accessory MLB shut down wasn't flashy, colorful, or even noticeable at first glance, yet it created even bigger arguments about fairness and identity. Free Joe Kelly Cleats. Trevor Bauer knew exactly what he was doing when he revealed his Free Joe Kelly cleats. The design featured Kelly's iconic pouty face from when he mocked the Astros after throwing behind them, and everyone remembered the chaos that followed. Fans loved it because Kelly became a symbol of players finally standing up to Houston's cheating scandal. Bauer's plan was to wear the cleats during a real game, but MLB stepped in immediately. Officials said they violated uniform messaging rules, and they warned him that if he wore them, he'd be fined, disciplined, and even pulled from the field. The public reaction exploded because critics said MLB was more eager to punish footwear than teams caught stealing signs. Bauer leaned into the absurdity, posting sarcastic comments about fun being illegal in baseball. The moment proved MLB often cares more about controlling its image than confronting controversy directly. And what came next was even stranger, because the following banned item wasn't about calling out scandals, but honoring a legend in the most heartfelt way possible. Vin Scully Tribute Cleats. When Yasiel Puig designed cleats honoring legendary broadcaster Vin Scully, he expected applause, not punishment. The shoes featured Scully's face, his signature phrases, and Dodgers colors woven into the custom design. Even MLB's official social accounts posted pictures of them with heart emojis, which made what happened next even more confusing. Hours later, Puig was warned that wearing them in a game would lead to a $5,000 fine because a tiny shade of orange in the Nike swoosh didn't match team-approved colors. Fans couldn't believe it. The accessory wasn't political, promotional, or controversial. It was literally a tribute to the voice of the franchise. Yet MLB treated it like a violation threatening the sport's integrity. Players started privately saying the league had no consistency with what it allowed and what it punished. It raised a bigger question about why heartfelt tributes were getting the same treatment as rule-breaking gear. And it gets crazier because the next banned item wasn't even emotional. It was tactical, risky, and had the league terrified for a whole different reason. Maple Tribute Bat. Martin Maldonado wanted to honor Albert Pujols during the 2022 World Series by using a pair of Pujols AP5 maple bats. They weren't magical, they weren't illegal for performance reasons, and they didn't make the ball fly further. They were banned because they were manufactured before MLB updated safety standards. The handles were known to splinter more easily, and after too many injuries in earlier seasons, the league blocked them for everyone except players who had already been using them for years. Maldonado didn't fall into that category, so the moment MLB realized he had stepped into the box with a Pujols bat, they confiscated it immediately. What made the moment explode online was MLB admitting the bat gave no competitive advantage, yet Maldonado still couldn't use it. Fans said it felt like one of the pettiest bans of championship history, and what happened immediately afterward summed up how unpredictable MLB rule enforcement can be, because the next accessory wasn't about safety or symbolism. It was about a cap that connected a modern player to baseball royalty. Babe Ruth Hat. David Wells didn't just buy Babe Ruth's actual Yankees cap, he wore it in a real MLB game. The moment he stepped onto the mound wearing that relic, teammates were stunned, and fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. But manager Joe Torre wasn't impressed. He stormed out and ordered Wells to take it off immediately because it violated MLB's uniform rules. Wells swapped it mid-game, pitched like nothing happened, and later admitted the stunt was absolutely worth it. MLB fined him $2,500, and Wells paid it in straight $1 bills out of pure pettiness. He later sold the hat for over $500,000, turning one banned accessory into the greatest flip in baseball history. And the entire situation exposed how MLB doesn't bend, not even for the sport's own heritage. But that's not where the rulebook frustration ends, because the very next banned item wasn't tied to baseball's past. It was tied to a glove so creative that MLB basically shut down fun for an entire generation of young fans. Colored pitcher's glove. Pitchers have stricter equipment rules than anyone, and MLB rarely hesitates to enforce them. Any glove with distracting patterns or colors is an instant violation. Red, white, or light-colored designs are especially banned because they can interfere with a hitter's ability to track the ball out of a pitcher's hand. Several pitchers have been forced mid-inning to swap gloves after umpires noticed colored accents that blended too closely with the ball. One of the most infamous cases involved a rookie who unknowingly debuted a glove with bright white lacing. The umpire shut it down before he even threw a pitch, claiming it created an unfair visual edge. Fans joke that MLB hates anything with personality unless it's printed on a bobblehead giveaway. And while hitters can express themselves with arm sleeves and accessories, pitchers remain boxed into the blandest color rules in sports. But the biggest debate over distracting gear didn't belong to pitchers at all. It belonged to a tribute that was supposed to honor history, yet somehow triggered national outrage. Jackie Robinson cleats. Adam Jones learned the hard way that MLB handles commemorative gear with strict technicality. Jones wore Jackie Robinson Day cleats, an iconic tribute, but he didn't wear them on the officially approved day. Fans tore into the league instantly, arguing that of all things to police, honoring Jackie Robinson shouldn't be one of them. Jones defended himself by saying Robinson deserved more than 24 hours of recognition, and social media exploded with support. Even former players said MLB should have shown flexibility instead of hiding behind policy wording. The moment highlighted a long-standing debate about whether uniforms should follow a rigid script or allow meaningful gestures. And the controversy didn't die down quickly, because the next banned accessory took MLB's inconsistency to an entirely new level, involving one of the most unique glove designs the sport had ever seen: sticky grip pads. Pitchers have always searched for extra grip, but the hidden sticky pads that exploded in 2021 created one of the most chaotic bans baseball has ever issued. These weren't jars of tar or messy concoctions. They were tiny adhesive squares tucked inside gloves, wrists, or belts, giving pitchers ridiculous spin rates without anyone noticing. Some pitchers used versions so strong they could literally lift a baseball off the ground with 2 fingers. When MLB suddenly cracked down, spin rates dropped overnight, exposing just how many players relied on the accessory. Another had his glove confiscated in front of a national audience. Fans argued the league caused more embarrassment than clarity, and players said the crackdown felt rushed and inconsistent. But the drama cemented sticky grip pads as one of the most unforgettable banned accessories ever created. If you like this video, consider watching this next one, which YouTube thinks you are going to really love.